Hello and welcome to our third and largest in the series of lanterns that I'm showing you ways to turn the lanterns that you may have or want to purchase into fall. So this one is some of the largest lanterns that we at Trees and Trends carry. And of course, as you can see, there is a lot of space here to fill. And if you just set a huge candle in, that's great if you can even find a candle large enough to handle this. Otherwise, work it in layers. Now, this is perhaps the hardest one to put together as far as a composition, but if you just follow these simple lines, it should be easy for you. Now, I'm going to open the door and we'll work on the inside first. Because I wanted my candle light moved on up, I used a general rule that I want the flame of the candle to be at approximately 2/3 the height of the piece, no matter what the size is. And I work accordingly, whether I'm using a pedestal or in this case I'm using a weathered wood candlestick. And then I set my candle on that appropriately. Now I've moved it to the back right. Don't think that you've just got to keep it in the center. Work it around depending on what else you're using in the piece and want to display. So in this case I have it over to the right side. Now I needed even more additional height in the piece, so I've used this Scarecrow novelty piece and set him up in the back. I knew that I wanted a pumpkin in here because of course I was working on fall, and so therefore I have used, as you can see, a large pumpkin sitting in here. Now I could have changed over maybe and done a second smaller pumpkin here. That would also work well as an option, but I also wanted to get an additional texture. So I just used the one large pumpkin, which gives you weight and focus toward the base. And then you've got all this movement going up. Now, to the right, I have used a sunflower pick with leaves and a couple of cones attached. And I just arched my stem there and tucked that in. In addition, I used a full bush of this leaf bush, and what I did was flipped it upside down, and then I've worked my branches in. So you can see where it's all curving around and my pumpkin is sitting in the middle of it. And then I've got some coming up the back, and that takes care of the back side and helps hide the stick, for instance, from the Scarecrow and things of that nature. And you can just work it around to fill some of that bottom base point. Then after that, I used this nice large pumpkin and pine cone pick and did that backwards, curving up the back side of my pumpkin, and that also helps to support, because of this curve, the pumpkin sitting on an angle there, and that fills it in very rapidly. Then you just drop in a few more orbs made from natural items. You can also do seed pods and things of that nature just to fill in some of those bottom areas, and your inside is complete just that quickly. But use those larger items to fill, otherwise you're having to play around and work and really get frustrated by using a lot of small items in there. Okay, at that point, your inside is done. So then you're ready to give some outside interest and pull the design on out into your surrounding area. So we have this spray, which is laid over that right side. So you've got your heavy weight here at the bottom left, and you're moving upward until you get to this outside focal point also. To do this spray, I've started off with one complete bush. Just open it out, go ahead and shape all of your vine somewhat, get some movement going, but have it all open already. Then all I've done is taken the one sunflower spray and laid down like so. I've taken a second one and I have it stuck through and angled upward. Now I'm holding those with my thumb. So that's stuck through in between those two, so I know I've got to wrap a wire there to hold. At that point, I have just this one other grass spray coming over to the side. And of course, this is pulling some of those other colors from my berries and things up, but in a different fashion and giving me just a little bit of wispy light texture. And so that also is getting laid in here. Now, you see how this stem is very long. Don't bother with cutting that. Just simply bend it around underneath and grip that with your hand also. Now, I'm ready to again take this moss-wrapped wire and wrap around the piece, tie tightly, and then, as you can see here, I have tied it around the top piece. You can adjust it to however you wish, but again, it's just tied on, looped on, and the tail's curled a bit, and that way it's easy to remove at the end of the season, and you can switch it out to Christmas or any other holiday, or leave it plain as you wish and your needs come about. And so here is our large lantern, and I hope this has given you some ideas of what you can do with your own, or how you can use lanterns in your home. And you can find it all at Trees and Trends.